Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to create a Python program which renames files and renames file extensions. So let's go and take a look at the code here. Right, so what I've done, I've imported the OS module which comes with Python, and I've also imported time here. So we're going to rename multiple files here. So the first function that I've done here is called rename multiple. Let me just get that in view for you. Okay, so this is the function and it's called rename multiple because we're going to be renaming multiple files. I've created a variable called path and assigned it to input, and I put c:// here. So what the user has to do, they'll have to type in the path to the file. So as you can see with me, the path to the file is a test file here, which is on my desktop. Let's just go back there. So once we've done that, we type in os.chdr path. So we change into that path. Now this is why you need the OS module on board to use that function there. Now I've created a variable called fileext, which is short for file extension, and I've assigned it to input. Inside that little input box, I've typed in a message so the user can see and the user knows what to do. So the message is enter file extension. I've given an example here of .txt, but it can be any file extension. And then what we're going to do is we're going to loop through that directory and look for files with that file extension. So we do that by using the for loop, and I put for f, which is going to iterate over the files in that particular folder in os.listdir path. So we iteate over all those files and we come onto a conditional here to make the evaluation. So we use the conditional if. So if f.ends with file extension, so if the file that we've iterated over ends with the file extension that we've typed in up here, for example .txt, then we do an action to it. So the action is os.rename. So we rename this file. We type in the iterator here, which is the file, and then we put a string in here called new ext. So that's going to be the name of it, new extension. And then what we do is we concatenate it to the file, and then we print files renamed so the user knows what's happened. So let's run this program. And first of all, to run this program here, I'm just going to run rename multiple, which is the name of this. So let's just save this and let's just hit this here, rename multiple. Okay, let me just go in a little bit on this. So it's going to be c:// users mark desktop test. I think it's called test. Okay, let's hit enter. Okay, enter the file extension. Let's zoom out a little bit there. I'm going to go .txt, hit enter, files renamed. Okay, let's just have a quick look at that, see if it's renamed our files. Yep, there we go. You can see the extension. It's tagged that onto the beginning. New ext, so new ext text document. So they've been renamed. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go on to the other part of the program, and this is where we rename the file extensions. So I'm just going to walk you through that. So this is the function rename extensions. We've got the path here, so the path to my desktop is there, test, and we change into that path. And then we've got a variable here called old ext, so that's the old extension of the file, and we've assigned it to input, and we tell the user to type in the old extension. So for those files that I'm going to be working on, the old extension is going to be .txt because I want to change those .txt into another file extension. So we've got a variable here called new extension, and we've assigned it to input. So this says new extension, so the user knows to type in a new extension. So for me, I'm going to type in the new extension as .pdf. So I'm going to changing the extension from a .txt to a .pdf. Again, what we do is we loop through this, and if f.ends with old ext, then we rename it and we use f.replace old extension with the new extension. And then we finish off by printing a message to the user telling the user extensions change. Now all we've got to do is call the program, and we call the program by its name, which is rename extensions. Okay, let me just save this and let me just run the program. Okay, old extension is .txt. New extension is .pdf. Hit enter. Extensions change. Let's just go and check that out. Make sure the extensions have changed. And there you go. So they've changed to PDFs. So there you go, folks. Bob's your uncle and Fanny is your auntie. I hope you enjoyed that. And remember, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the subscription button below and give it a thumbs up. Drop me a comment, and I'll see you in another video. Bye-bye.